There is a legend that Satan tried to infiltrate heaven. And as you very well know, Satan was once an angel, a powerful angel. And so he had powers. And so it is said that he disguised himself as Jesus. And he took the opportunity when St. Peter was taking a break and an angel substituted for St. Peter at the gates. And so here comes Satan disguised as Jesus, asking the angel to allow him to enter heaven. And you could just imagine the poor angel startled at the sight of Jesus. And so the angel simply bowed down and allowed Satan, disguised as Jesus, to enter the pearly gates. But just as Satan was about to enter and cross, the angel, still bowing with a little trepidation, cried out, "Pardon me, sir, but I have to do my duty. I have to inspect you, even if you are the Lord. Can I see your hands?" And Satan, of course, very confidently showed his hands in all splendor and majesty. And when the angel saw this, he immediately sounded the alarm and took off the sword from its sheath and cried out, "An enemy is here." Satan was so puzzled and asked the angel, "How did you know?" The angel said, "Your hands, they do not have any wounds. You are not Jesus. You are an impostor." Brothers and sisters, if you will notice in the post-resurrection narratives, Jesus, when he appeared to his disciples, would always show his hands and his feet and his side. Jesus would always show his wounds. In the gospel today, we heard, after greeting them, "Peace be with you," Jesus showed them his hands and feet. And what is ironic is when his apostles saw his hands and feet, they rejoiced. They were happy to see the wounds. Last week, if you remember, Thomas even demanded, "Unless I see his hands and his side, I will not believe." Why are they so mindful of the wounds of Jesus? Why did Jesus use the wounds to identify himself? Why were the apostles looking for the wounds before they could rejoice that it is really the Lord? Why so much fuss about the wounds and the scars? And we could even ask, why did Jesus retain the scars? I'm sure with all his power, after all, he was able to rise from the dead, a little divine cosmetic surgery would be very easy for Jesus. He could have easily made his hands and feet clean. But why did Jesus retain the wounds? And why are the wounds important for the apostles? The apostles rejoiced at the wounds because when they saw the wounds, they are now assured that it is really Jesus. That the person in front of them was the same person who died for them. Baka raw kasi nagpalit na, nagkaroon ng pagkakasalisi. Baka iba na yung kaharap nila, hindi na yun yung namatay para sa kanila. And that would be terrible because if the powerful Jesus who is now in front of them is not the same Jesus who died for them, that same Lord now would not understand and know them anymore. They wanted to be sure that it is the same Jesus who died for them. It is the same Jesus who loved them. It is the same Jesus who willingly carried the cross for their sake. And when the apostles saw the wounds, they rejoiced. They were really at peace. They were now confident because they know this person in front of them is the person who knows them, who understands them. On the other hand, when Jesus showed the wounds, it was not simply a mark of identity. It was not simply to tell the apostles, I am the same Jesus. Showing the wounds had a deeper purpose, an Easter news. Jesus is now telling his apostles, you don't have to be afraid of wounds. You don't have to be embarrassed of wounds. Tayo, di ba? Natatakot tayong masugatan. Pag nasugatan tayo, nahihiya tayong ipakita yung sugat natin. Kaya nga minsan, kung ano-ano nilalagay natin para mabura yung sugat na yan. Kasi ang gusto natin, flawless, unblemished, makinis, malinis. But the risen Lord is now telling us, there is no reason to be embarrassed of the wounds. You may even show me your wounds, just as I show my wounds to you. And that is the good news for us, dear brothers and sisters. All of us have been wounded. Not just physically, but we have been wounded in our hearts. There is the wound of rejection, of failure, of shattered dreams and broken relationships. The wounds of the crisis in our families, the economic crisis we are experiencing. So many wounds are around us and inside us. And at times we are afraid to show them to one another. We are afraid to show them to the Lord. Because all along we thought the perfect disciple is a flawless disciple. That the perfect Christian is an unblemished Christian. But the good news of Easter is this. Jesus, when He showed His wounds to His apostles, was as if telling them, don't worry about the wounds. I understand them. Don't hide them. I understand them. In fact, those wounds would be your ticket to heaven. Those wounds would help you understand me more. Those wounds will be your key to victory in life. Jesus was telling His apostles, it is all right to be wounded because if you follow me, you have power over those wounds. You will overcome death. You will be victorious. Napakagandang balita para sa atin yun, mga kapatid. Na kahit pala sugatan tayo, pwede pa rin tayo magwagi. Kahit pala talunan tayo sa mata ng mundo, magtatagumpay pa rin tayo at mananalo tayo. Makakamtam natin ang kapayapaan ng Diyos. Huwag tayong matakot masugatan. Huwag tayong matakot matalo. Huwag tayong matakot makita ng mundo na bumabagsak. Sapagkat kung kasama natin ang Panginoon, mapagtatagumpayan natin lahat ito. The good news of Easter is this: the risen Lord is a wounded Lord. And it is a great consolation for all of us who follow Jesus. No wonder, after showing His wounds, after making them realize that He will still be victorious, Jesus said, you are now my witnesses. You can now go out and proclaim the risen Lord. And that is why in the first reading, we now hear Peter proclaiming with all courage that the risen Lord is a crucified Lord. No reason to be afraid that our Master is wounded, that our Master was crucified, because by those wounds we are healed. By those wounds we will be victorious. By those wounds we will be at peace. And those wounds are the proofs of Jesus' love for us. And that is why in the second reading, the first letter of John proclaims, Jesus is our advocate. Jesus is our defender. Because it is the same Jesus who knows us and understands us, who is victorious. And so in this Mass, dear brothers and sisters, let us show to Jesus our wounds, just as He showed His wounds to all of us. Huwag tayong matakot doon sa mga sugat na yan. Huwag tayong mahiya, sapagkat yung mga sugat na yan, ang siyang magpapalapit sa atin sa Diyos. Yang mga sugat na yan, ang siyang magpapapasok sa atin sa langit. Amen.